It's the Comedy Cupcake. It's the Comedy Cupcake. It's the Comedy Cupcake Show.
With Lila
and Eric.
This is the Comedy Cupcake Show. I'm Eric Abbenante.
And I'm Lila Hart. This is episode 1, baby. Are you excited?
Oh, it's the beginning of a beautiful era. And when we go into a relationship, things never, ever die. And so I know this is going to be a great thing.
Oh, I mean, relationships do die.
But not ours.
That's true. That's you're the only one that matters, actually, because you're my best friend.
2.5 years. Can't beat that.
Eric is my best friend.
Yes, baby. You're my best friend. You'll always be my best friend.
Oh, I love you. I feel like I'm so far away from you because I have to talk into this microphone over here.
I know. We should have set this up a little differently. But I kind of like it.
Okay, episode 2, we'll set things up differently. So, welcome to the Comedy Cupcake Show. This is the first episode where me and Eric are going to be filming every week and talking about whatever we want to talk about.
You know, we got time right now. The whole state of California is locked down through July, and we just, thought it'd be fun. We just need to do something together.
Yes. So this is the do something together thing we're doing. And we dressed up because we're treating it like a date.
Or like a job interview or just any reason to dress up.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to my friend Krista Saul for this beautiful dress that she gave me. I actually got to see her during her birthday for a drive-by birthday surprise.
Yes, thank you, Krista. The dress looks amazing. I'm very thankful. I really am.
Oh, yeah, like you should let's pop up that video of the drive-by birthday for Krista because I love her so much.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Shout out to my roommate, Alan, for driving.
Yes, Alan Chow, that is our roommate who actually just left today. He went back to Utah for a little bit. So now it's just going to be me and Eric together with our cat 24/7 for the rest of this pandemic, writing it out. And that's why we started the show.
The human trinamic has now been taken down to a dynamic. It's tough. We miss you, Alan. But, he's out in Utah for a good reason.
So let's start with I have a list of 20 questions.
Wow. I can't wait to answer 20 questions.
Question number 1. When and where did we first meet?
So, first time we ever met, it was at an open mic in it's near the beach in LA. And
do you remember the name of the open mic?
I'm seriously blanking on it. It's Arsenal. The Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah. It's a bar, and it's a bar open mic. It's really awesome. Run by my friend Cesar Lizardo, and it's a really cool. And so we walked in, and
Who's we?
Me and my ex-girlfriend. I was hoping to just sneak by that, but yeah, me and my ex-girlfriend. We were walking in there, and Lila was on stage, and there is no one like Lila ever in the history of comedy. She is a unicorn, and it kind of floored me. I think one time I was talking to you about this, and you said my jaw was open the entire time I was watching you.
Yes, while I was on stage, I noticed Eric because he was staring at me like this.
Yeah, because you were hot.
And I was, offended because I was like, why is this dude staring at me so awkwardly? I thought you were weird.
I mean, you were really talented, too, but I was in love. I fell in love, even though.
And for people who don't know, Eric and I are both stand-up comedians. Well, I guess we covered that part. But we're both stand-up comedians, and Eric really is the perfect match for me because he is a comedy nerd genius. He knows about all the comedy history and all the different comedians. I didn't know about comedians and the history of comedians until I started doing comedy.
And usually I am behind the camera. I set up the cameras and stuff, and then Lila is the star, but sometimes she likes to share the spotlight with me. It's amazing.
I love you. Okay.
I love you, baby.
So where was our first date?
Our first date was honestly probably doing small talk.
Okay, doing small... we should talk about actually the first time I went and hung out with Eric. I got a DM from somebody on Instagram, my girlfriend at the time, and she messaged me and she said, "I know somebody who wants to fuck you." That was the DM that I received. And I was like, "Who? That's cool." And she told me Eric Abbenante. And I was like, "Aw, he's nice." But at the time, I thought he had a girlfriend. And she's like, "No, they just broke up." And I was like, "Oh, okay, so you want me to be this dude's booty call?" And I decided to go hang out with him anyways.
Yeah.
And the first time we hung out, I was at his apartment, and he had like a dope apartment in Hollywood before the whole mold situation. But anyways, he had this awesome apartment, and I came over, and Eric probably thought he was gonna get some, but we ended up just cuddling, and I was hugging him, and I told him, "This is what people truly crave. They just want to be held and cuddled on. We don't need to fuck. We just need to cuddle." And so yeah, we just cuddled, and
it was one of the best lines ever pulled on me. It was hard for me
this is what people really crave.
I had no rebuttal for it.
And I went back to where I was living at the time, which was in Burbank, and I lived in this crazy house with rats and cockroaches and all sorts of crazy shit that went down there. But he texted me, and it was this really sweet text message about how I was like the sun. And I could light up the room. And I was like, "Oh, he's so nice." And we really started out as friends, and he truly is my best friend. I love you.
And it started from a text that said, "I know someone who wants to fuck you." I mean, probably the worst opening in the history of time. And it still worked out. See, that's what true love's all about, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, no matter if it's the worst first impression ever.
Well, another thing I want to just share too is it's funny that I ended up with Eric Abbenante because for as long as I can remember, I was always crying over an Eric. There were 2 other Erics before that broke my heart that I was like obsessed with. So it was always an Eric. Crying over an Eric, obsessively texting an Eric, and then, clearly I was right because I ended up with Eric, but I've been crying over Eric for like 10 years.
And I am the one who makes her feel tall. So, it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I'm 4'6".
I mean, I make her feel she makes me feel tall. You know what I meant.
Okay. What was your first impression of me?
My first impression of you when I saw you on stage was, wow, this is comedy history. And then I told that to my ex-girlfriend. She was not very amused because she wanted attention. And she was not very amused. It was like if I didn't look into the camera right now with Lila.
I'm just trying to help. It's first episode. We should do it right.
You can try and help, but it'll, it's going to be bad. With my eye contact. It's always been a bad issue. I used to be an autism tutor, and I had to teach kids how to deal with bad eye contact. And I think they saw me as like a success story. Like, he rose out of the ranks. He could do it.
So, my first impression of Eric, like I said, his mouth was hanging wide open. So I was actually offended. But after the initial...
Don't worry, I fixed it by saying I wanted to fuck you.
Oh my God, no, that's not what he said. He was just like, but that was in 2016, so we were both kind of running in the same comedy circles because during that time before the pandemic, you could go to like 4 mics a night and be amongst a ton of people. And I would see him at mics, and then he invited me on a show. So, I respected him as a comedian, and I thought he was funny. So that was good.
Thought. You still think.
I think you're hilarious. You're my best friend who makes me laugh the most, and you write amazing scripts, which I actually was reading one of his scripts last night, and I was laughing my ass off. It was so fucking funny. It's the best thing about dating a writer is that they can make you laugh because they just write amazing stuff all the time. Okay. When did you meet my family?
Do you want to start this off, or should I go first?
Oh, yeah, I'll start it because I met Eric's family first.
Okay.
I met his family pretty early on because, like I said, we were friends and we were, doing our shows together. He had a YouTube channel, Channel 310, and asked me to have a show on there, which that's when I started Small Talk with Lila Hart. And I filmed at Eric's apartment every week, and I've had 33 guests on the show, so it's, it was amazing. But we were best friends, so it was just inevitable that I was going to meet his parents, because his parents actually live here in Los Angeles. And it's so cool because his mom and dad have now become like my second family. Like, it was always my dream. I'm originally from Seattle, or Marysville, Washington. And when I came out to LA, I was 21. I had no family and no friends out here, and I didn't know anybody. And, it was always my dream that I would meet the love of my life, and he would have a great family, and then I would have a family out here. So his parents are awesome. Shout out to Debbie and Phil. Grillmaster Phil! Yeah, Phil makes the best steaks. I think it was like the first week I came over there, I had dinner there, and yeah, he's a grill master. So I love going to Eric's parents' house. Their food is so good. So good.
And she went to my sister's wedding, which is really cool. So.
Oh yeah, when I went to his sister's wedding, that's when I knew. I was like, I'm in. I'm in this shit. Yeah. I am in the family. I'm in the photos. So yeah, that was awesome.
And then I met Lila's mom first, Esper, and then I met her dad, Bill, like 6 months later. Lila's mom, Esper, is kind of infamous. Online, I wasn't sure if she was real or not, because I thought it was like a bot Lila made, like pretending she was like a mom or something. Because it was like this person was commenting at a rate that no one her age or like experience level, like she had a grasp of the internet and social media that was bizarrely impressive.
Aww.
And
shout out to Esper Hart.
But yeah, it was just like, wow, when I first met her, I couldn't believe like she was actually real. But she's very sweet, just like Lila, and you can see where Lila gets everything from. She is like she's just so full of energy. I think that's the best way to describe it. Just like Lila, she's just really full of energy and really really bright in terms of she can articulate very well in English for it being her second language. Like, she can really understand the context of like stuff like at a really impressive level. It like shows like her knowledge. It's just like I really wish I knew Tagalog, her language, to really listen to her at her full strength, but like in English she is still really like smart. Like I when I speak in Spanish, I sound like a third grader who's been hit over the head like a lot with a floorboard, and she is just really impressive. So yeah, and then her dad is really cool. He's got a grizzly voice, kind of southern, but he's a really cool guy. He has a military background. So Bill is just a really amazing guy. I met him probably like 6 months after Esper.
No, it was not 6 months after Esper.
How?
It was like a year and a half. Eric, he was just here in December.
Time flew by.
I have to say, my mom has come to visit me in LA numerous times. My dad came for the first time in December 15th. That was his 55th birthday?
Yes.
Why am I messing that up? Anyways, my dad came for his birthday, and it was so exciting and so amazing because, like I said, my dad has never come to visit here in LA, mostly because I was always living in like a crappy place. And now we live in a beautiful townhouse, and my dad came, and he was so impressed, and he met Eric's parents, and he just loves and adores Eric so much. It was really sweet and heartwarming. But yeah.
Yeah, no.
My mom came before because me and Eric have done a lot of moving together. My mom came to move me out of my place in Burbank and help me move into Eric's place in Hollywood, which we lived in for like about 6 months. And then we had an ordeal with mold, which was, oh my God, it was so horrible. It was so horrible because we had this ordeal with mold. And then we had to move into Eric's parents' house. So we lived with Eric's parents for a little bit. That's why, we are very close because we lived with them for like 4 months of last year while our mold in our apartment was being renovated, and it really brought us close. So I do consider them, they're my family after we lived together like that.
Yeah,
Girl
for
Master
sure.
Phil makes the best food, and Debbie makes the best coffee.
And yeah, with Bill, you know, it was really cool when I met him recently because with it's not just the military background or like the fact that he has a really impressive job by like guarding prisoners in a prison. It's like the I guess the most impressive part is like you could see where Lila's storytelling comes in.
Aww.
Like he made a really he just like for instance, like he made Miles Garrett, that guy who he used his helmet to like hit the quarterback in a game, right? And Bill was like, yeah, he wouldn't hit me in the head with the helmet because he would have had to throw that helmet at me, I would have been running away, and so like that was a really good joke, and that's where you can kind of see Lila's chops come from. So yeah, no, they're both really cool couple, and they remind me both my parents a lot too. Really good match,
Yeah, it's awesome.
And like us.
Aww.
Smooth. I'm gonna get laid tonight from that.
Who said I love you first?
I did like 100,000 times probably.
Aw, I love you.
Oh, I love you, baby.
I love you so much. What outfits or what is my favorite like piece of clothing?
Boots that are really big and really shiny.
Yeah, I like
and,
boots.
Probably one of the best reviewed things I've ever bought her were those rainbow boots. Everyone loves everyone loves the rainbow boots, and I didn't think that would be such a big hit, but yeah, it's I would buy her shoes for Small Talk Live, because she rocks shoes, and so she gets these big boots. Didn't you have someone who like made shoes specifically for little people, and that's kind of how we got the idea?
Well, yeah, the little shoe store. She gave me a couple pairs of shoes that I love so much.
Yeah.
And Eric's favorite piece of clothing is his Channel 310 hoodie, which was gifted to us by his parents on it was like Christmas of 2018.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the best Christmas presents.
Yeah,
and also, we
cool.
lived with his parents at that time. So, and with our cat that destroyed their carpet, I promise, Phil and Debbie, when we make millions of dollars, I will replace and remodel your home and your carpet and anything that you want.
Yes,
okay?
Anything.
Anything that you want.
Anything.
So, what is a weird habit that I have?
Okay.
You don't like that question?
No, it's just a tough one. I'm trying to think of like weird habits.
What about one?
Okay.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
Eric, I can't believe you're not going with the most obvious one that I bug you with all the time. Looking into your earlobes.
Oh my
Or
god.
looking into your ear hole.
Yeah. Lila is obsessed with looking into my. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Lila's obsessed with looking into my ears. It's been a problem. Have you ever been sleeping and then you feel like, is there someone like right above me looking into my ear hole? And is that somebody using their phone light to illuminate my ear hole?
Yes. Yeah. Guilty as charged. I love looking in your ear hole.
All right, what's a weird habit of mine?
Weird habit of yours is See, here's the thing, honey. Nothing you do is weird to me because I'm just so used to it, and I love you unconditionally for who you are and everything that you do. So it's not really weird. Okay, what is a weird habit that you have? Oh, I know. Well, it's not really a habit. He has this string ball that is just his like favorite thing ever. It's what he uses to smoke his weed. Is a string ball.
It's a hemp wick.
Oh yeah, okay, it's a
420 feet of it.
Yes, and our cat loves it.
It is. Yeah, it's Cupcake's favorite thing ever. I think she loves it more than me.
What do I often do in my free time?
The cheesy but real answer is she's very giving and she just brightens people's days. So if her parent, she's very good with connecting with family. First of all, that was kind of the main reason, because she actually like really cared about family. But she's good with friends in general. Like if Lila is a friend with you, it feels amazing. And if she's not a friend with you, it like sucks. Like I've seen that happen too, where people get upset because like Lila was at a certain friendship level with them and then not. Like it's painful because she's that good of a friend. Like I think that's the biggest the biggest thing. It's like people notice the gaping hole, and so I remember I remember she actually said that to me once, and I was like, that always rings in my head, because it's like it would haunt me to lose someone like Lila. I could never live without her. She says she says it the most to me, but
I could never live without you.
But I think it all the time.
Aww.
But I'm just really cool about it.
In Eric's free time, he is constantly working on Channel 310 related stuff. I mean, the last 2 years of our relationship have really been dedicated. It makes me emotional. I've really been dedicated to this YouTube channel. He's constantly editing for other people, and he gives a lot of time to other people, and that's something I love about you so much, honey.
Aw, thanks, baby.
So, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment, because this YouTube channel means so much to us. And, when Eric's not spending time with me, he is working on Channel 310 and helping others. So, I love you.
No, I love you, baby.
As annoying as it is, it's almost like a sacrifice we have to make, because it's like the harder we work now in our 20s or at the end of our 20s, the more success we'll have in the future, and then the more free time we'll be able to have to spend time together. So it's a sacrifice, like there's our relationship has really been, it's been a lot of work, a lot of building our platforms and building this YouTube channel. It's been a lot of work, and I think a lot of people don't understand how difficult that can be, especially when, like being a female comedian amongst a ton of male comedians all the time. It's just like, and then also being your girlfriend, okay, I'll just say this. The first 6 months of our relationship, I didn't want anybody to know that we were together, because I didn't want other comedians to treat me differently, knowing that I was dating him. Because it's just like, in the comedy world, you're told, oh, don't date another comedian, right? And then also it's like, there's just a lot to it. But it's, once we finally came out as being together, I felt like it really leveled up my stand-up, because it was like, now people have to see me on stage for my stand-up. They can't just sexualize me, or just like, oh, I want to sleep with this girl, so I put on my show. It was like, no, I'm in a relationship, and, they just have to either fuck with my stand-up or not.
I think the biggest fear in general is that, oh, will people treat me different now that I'm in a relationship? And they will, and usually it is for the better. Sometimes it is for the worse. Sometimes people don't react well to your relationship in general, but it is one of those things. We're a team, and we always look out for each other first and foremost. And sometimes people are jealous of that kind of relationship because that's what they want. Or some people just don't understand it because they are truly like soloists. We are in comedy. It is some of the most solo oriented, There are some people that are truly like, I want to be single. And so it is kind of hard for them to comprehend. But for a lot of people, it is also the goal. And some people do the art so that they can get the person and the partner. And we kind of already have that. So it's just one of those things that it's really interesting.
All right, so for the audience out there who may or may not know, most of these people are, I would hope, are fans of my comedy. I actually was born with spina bifida, and I'm disabled. I have spina bifida and scoliosis. And so the question I want to ask my boyfriend is, what is it like for you dating somebody who is disabled?
Well, I guess the first part is like comparing you to my other girlfriends, like they're all the same. Like I wouldn't like categorize you as like, oh, Lila's over here because she's disabled. No, they were, it's pretty much, not only is there like similarities, but Lila is better than any other girlfriend I've ever had. Not only is there the same in all the categories, but her mindset lets her transcend adversity better than anyone I've ever met. Like her attitude is really what makes me love her the most. I mean, physically, she is got a smoking bod, but the main thing is that she really, she cares about family, she cares about her friends, and she makes you feel like no matter what is going on in my life, I can take care of it, and I have the power within me to do it. And I think that's the coolest part about Lila. She makes you believe you can do it.
Oh, I love you, baby.
I love you.
So, yeah.
Wasn't lying about that smoking hot bod either.
It's crazy because for a long time when I was out in the world dating before Eric, I really struggled in relationships because a lot of guys that were interested in me would say things like, I really like you, Lila, but I can't date you because my friends are going to make fun of me for being with a midget, or my friends, like, they just couldn't handle my disability. What was it like for you with your friends?
Oh, I didn't get that part at all because I was super ready to show you off, because to me you were just like my super hot girlfriend. Like,
Aww.
it wasn't I guess now I'm starting to understand a little bit what you were asking at. No, I never was ashamed of you at all. I thought you were not only the coolest person, but I was just super impressed by you. And so I guess that's where the disconnect is. Like, it kind of blows my mind that people were embarrassed to be dating you. I just kind of see them as fools, to be honest. Like, it's hard for me to comprehend it. But now I get what you're talking about. Like, that is really interesting.
Well, shout out to all the fools of my past. I am grateful for you because I do believe that everybody that comes into your life, there's a lot of lessons to be learned. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I've had a few seasons, many different reasons, but baby, you are my lifetime. I love you.
That's really cool. I've never heard that phrase. That's a good one.
I love you.
Did you make that up?
It's just a phrase I've heard.
That's really good.
It's a phrase.
That's good. That rocked my world.
Well, cheers to a lifetime.
I'll remember that.
This has been an episode of the Comedy
Cupcake.
Cupcake. Tune in again soon. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment here only at channel 310.
I'm really good at looking into the camera. Back to you.
Cupcake, Comedy Cupcake. Comedy Cupcake Show with Eric and Lila and Cuppy.
She is loving it.